What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy the Middle-Aged Gamer, and today we're kind of going to upgrade this thing with an MPAs. As you'll have noticed in the main review, this thing is shooting just a little bit pokey. Okay, I'm using green gas and 0.25 gram BBs in the MWS GBBR I from Guns Modify. Okay, so it's not bad that for an out-the-box experience. Now, I use 2.5 gram BBs and green gas, and here in the UK, the maximum FPS for that weight of BB is around the 314 FPS. Shooting at the lowest when cooldown sets in at 325 FPS, and with its first pokey shots at 370, and the rest somewhere in between, you can imagine that's nowhere near site legal limit, so MPAs is required. Now, let's take this thing apart, let's get the bolt carrier ready, and let's show you what MPAs I'm going to be fitting and why. Well, okay then, now that we've got the bolt carrier out of the MWS GBBR I, okay, so before we put that in, let's talk about the MPAs I'm going to fit. As you can see here, this is the Ratec MPAs, and I used this in the 416A5 from Guns Modify, and it ran perfectly fine. And as it's using the exact same nozzle in there as the 416, well, I expect the same. Now, of course, some people are going to say, why not use Federal Concepts? Well, my last experience didn't go well, and they never replaced it or even offered. And there was really no other option in stock at that time. Now, like I say, I have used this before, so I do know it works pretty well. So, as I have two of these already in stock, let's start using one of them. Now, first things we wanted to do while we're here is we're going to need to take off these two screws. Now, they are thread locked, so we need to look for the right thing. That might be it. Nope, that's too big. Let's have a look here. There we are. So we need to undo these. Now they are tight, like I say, because they have got thread lock in there. Quick note, make sure you do have some blue thread lock for when you're finished, as once you've got the FPS set and everything is cycling fine, you're going to want to put that blue thread lock back on there, just to make sure that they don't back out. The last thing you want is things falling apart while you're enjoying your airsoft time. So, we'll take that one out. Now, come on. There we go. So, as you can tell, very stiff, meaning there's a lot of thread lock, and it's gonna be annoying. But apparently these are the main two things that are thread locked in. So as long as you know that, well, you should be fine. There we go. Once you get past, and yes, someone is beeping outside, they know where the horn is, as they say. Give the guy a blue Peter badge. Right. Now, at this point, you have to be extremely careful. And the best thing to do is to lift it up straight. And the reason being is there are 4 rollers there and 2 up here. Okay, this is one of the reasons why this thing runs so smoothly. So, holding the rollers on there, just place it over there, and you're not going to need to touch that for the immediate future. Now, before we go any further, okay, you can see how things are working in there. We need to get our little parts baggie from the gun itself. So when Guns Modify give it you, they give you a parts bag like this, And it comes with a lot of nice, cool little parts, which is awesome. You get your torque screw to adjust for barrel removing and that, but we want this one. Now, the reason we want this one is in here is one screw, a 3M screw, to be precise, that we're going to need. It's going to help us out later on, okay? So, we'll grab this 3M screw here. The rest, like I say, are just replacement bits. What's cool is they don't only just give you that, but they give you replacement front sights and special clips and little roll pins and that. They've really gone the whole hog to make sure that you've got replacement out the box. I've never seen Marui give you so much. Now, once we've done that, we're going to screw that into here, okay? And the reason being is that's going to help us later when we re-put the nozzle back together. Okay, so let's grab a screwdriver, and next we're going to have to pop this E-clip off, just like a normal, how would you say, bolt carrier from VFC or GHK. You're going to want to remove this clip. So let's get onto that. Okay, so once you've removed that E-clip, which has to go back a set way, so please remember that, okay, we're going to put that aside for now. We're not going to need that now. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put it in a 90-degree angle, because you can see here there are two spring-loaded detents in there. Now, as we pull that out at an angle, you're going to want to push up and just try to wobble this thing out, because it will only come out one way. And doing that will allow us not to lose these. Just to show you, they are, like I say, they are spring-loaded in there, okay? And we don't want to lose them. So now that we've got the nozzle retainer in here in the guide, we're going to leave that just stood up over there so they don't fall over. And at that point, we can now remove our nozzle. We should be able to by just thunk. Now, having that is going to allow us to get this fed back through. So once we've got that done, as you can see here, we have our standard Guns Modify. And as you can see, it is the version 3.5. We can just see, there we go. All right, so you know you've got the right one now. All right, now as you can see, you do have a washer here. Keep that safe, you don't want to lose it. And with that, what we're going to do next is take this head off. So all you're going to need for that is a little flat head, get it underneath, pop it up. We take the piston head off. Now Guns Modify makes some of the best piston heads right now. We can put that to the side. And now we've done that, we can now, I don't want to put that there like that. What we can do now is we have to take this screw out. And that basically frees the nozzle return spring. So I'm just going to swap the bit to a crosshead here. Okay, and now you can just check to see how far through it needs to go. Make sure that you put it back that way, and we just unscrew. There is a tiny washer. It's only Guns Modify that does it, but given the consistency of these nozzles and the reliability in that, they are absolutely amazing. So don't lose it. It really does count. And we can now just pull that bit out. Okay, and we've now released their spring. Okay, there is a little piece in there. There we go. Now, once we've done that, tip it upside down, and out we can pop the rocket valve. Now, those among you that know how to do it can basically drill a hole and put a grub screw in there if you wish. That's entirely up to you. But I'm like most of us, yeah. No, I'm not going to do that. It's not worth the time and the effort to do that. Not when you can easily pull out a MPAS that I have already. If you don't, it's up to you. Now, the MPAS that they provide you on there from Ratec is quite nice. It is a metal MPAS. Now, I do have a thingy, but it's not steel. It's just aluminium, which is nice. Now, while it's out, you can actually enjoy adjusting it. Now, what I adjust it to normally is about 3 millimeters. Okay, so something like that. If I pull it in, that's the sort of distance you really want to get straight out. Why? I just find it's right in the middle. It's a sweet spot. We can adjust it for more or less. It's easier to add more than it is to take it away. Okay, so now that we've done that, and again with this, just to FYI, when you do, the key that comes with this is a female key. So it just fits down. It only goes in one way, and it will literally fit on and find the adjustment stem in there, which is a lot easier than having a 1.5 millimeter Allen key and trying to find the actual socket and then make the adjustments. Just FYI. I find that cool. The only thing that you have to do is put something like a cocktail stick or just another key in here to hold this from spinning, and then just put it in and adjust. You can do it while it's in the bolt carrier. It's easy enough. It's not rocket science to do that one, really. Now, what we do next is we take our spring and our bit and we drop that in. If we've done it correctly, we should be able to. We're going to need something longer. So if I get that, just take a random Allen key here. And as you can see, it freely moves, right? So you can see it's freely moving. So you know you've got it in the right location. Okay, hard part done. Now, all we've got to do now is reverse the steps. So to do that, we can take our little return spring here. Okay, and what you want to do now is checking through this hole, line up the holes, and then we can put this thing back. So the easiest way is to put that in so you see it, and you'll see a hole appear. That should tell you you've got it right. And at that point, we can just screw this all the way back in. Again, making sure that we go to the exact same point it was before. Which is that. And we're in already, so that's cool. And set the O-ring here, which is important. And then we just pop the piston head back on. Okay. So that's awesome. Don't worry about that. As long as it stays in, you're okay. So that's cool. Now we have to go back the way we came, as they say. So we can, now of course at this point you can take some silicone oil and put some on. So I'd use standard Abbey silicone oil because their oils are great. Their grease is not brilliant, but their oils, in fact if we just take that out, but their oil is fine. Don't worry about a lot, because at the end of the day you are actually going to use gas in here, and if you're using green gas, it's going to self-lube anyway. Now we comes to the part where we've got to locate. There you go. Just a bit of a shake and it'll go through. Now that we've got that in, we can now restore the E-clip and we can get everything put back. Okay, so after frustration, you will get it clipped in. Like I say, it will fit onto this little nub here. So there is only one way. But once that's on, you're basically good to install the rest of it. Now, to do the guide, well, I've smacked my camera. Okay, so right now we're going to need to just pulling forward a little bit on here. Allows us to get this all hooked in. There we go. And there we are. It's now retained back in. So there we go. All right, so there we are. The pins are in, everything is nicely in, and it's in. Now, obviously, it's time to get this top part put back on in a second, so let's just undo this tail screw. We don't need this on anymore. Now that that's all done, which is wicked. Now, just a little thought. Yeah, these rollers, okay, so these rollers here, if I get these on camera, these are aluminium rollers, but the top ones here are steel. Okay. So that's okay. Now, this is one of the reasons why this thing cycles so smooth. Now what we want to do next is put this back into its groove. Once that's on there, you will know because it'll sit down straight. And we can drop our screws in and we can retighten everything back down. Okay, that's one right. Oh, where are we? There we are. We can get this on. Once this is on, we can re-lube the bolt carrier nozzle and that and get it reinstalled into our awesome GBBR, and we can test the FPS. But it is really that easy. It looks more complicated because this is a very unique system compared to the old standard bolt carrier that we had for the MWS. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I really like it, and the fact that when this is cycling, it cycles so smoothly because of all these rollers and surfaces, it is ridiculously cool. So we can put some on there, just moving that, there, again down here. Okay, if we flip that over, we can pull on the nozzle. What I like to do is add a little bit here, some on there, some on there. You can see your steel Z plate catch right there, which is in, and yeah. There we go. So that is how you would fit your MPAS. It is now inside. So let's reassemble this scar. Let's go and see what the FPS readings are. Okay guys, so now that we've fitted the MPAS, let's see if I got it adjusted correctly and how this thing works. Again, 0.25 gram BBs and green gas. Very nice. Well, let's see how consistent. So, our SD has improved from 12 to 8.6. That's great. Our maximum deviation from the highest to lowest has dropped as well, so that's good. And our average is 308, which is bang on. Amazing. Alright guys, if you've gotten this far in the video and you like what you see but you're not subscribed, then what the hell are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. Just do it. It really goes a long way to helping this channel put bigger and better weapons. You're seeing some of the best weapons in the industry, certainly when it comes to GBBRs, on this table, allowing you to make a better informed decision. So do it. While you're there, hit that notification bell so you don't actually miss a video, which is awesome. And you really help this guy out. So, well, okay, guys. As you can see, an absolute improvement over the stock rocket valve. So that's wicked. And we brought the MPAS into play, so it means I can mess around with it if I need to go outdoors and shoot at long range, or if I'm going to be indoors, which I predominantly play, then I can use the indoor setting and have it down, which is brilliant. Now, I am an advocate that pretty much all new GBBRs now should have an MPAS. I don't think there's an excuse that they don't have one anymore. It's a lot better for you guys and allows you guys to be a bit more versatile. So that's cool. But as you can see from the whole, I would say, results here, the Ratec MPAS is just great. It's an absolute awesome piece of kit. Now, of course, it's going to come down to you guys. What do you think to it? At the moment, I'm absolutely loving this scar. It's got very little wear and tear, even though right now, as I'm recording this, I'm well over a few thousand rounds down range. This is quite awesome. It's just very well built so far, and it's a great pairing. So now you know how to install an MPAS in this awesome piece of kit. You're not going to go a little bit awry. So that's awesome, and hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think, and as always, I will see you in the next one.